All right, fifth grade. This is our next Mexican folk art project. This is called an Oaxacan foil animal. For this activity, you are going to need a piece of cardboard, a piece of aluminum foil that is the same size or just a little larger than your cardboard, a pencil, Sharpies, scissors, and an eraser. Gather these things and let's get started. To get started with this project, the very first thing we want to do is to take that piece of cardboard and draw our animal right in the middle of that cardboard, nice and big. I've already drawn my animal on, but I'm going to trace around it using a black marker just so that my lines are nice and bold for cutting. Now, if you do not draw too small, I can help you with the cutting with my cutting tool. But if your animal is too small or has lots of little details in it, I may not be able to help you with that. So take your time and draw an animal. And really, for this step, the most important part is to get the outline, just the body of the animal down. It doesn't have to be It doesn't have to have all the little details in it for the first part. Then the next step is going to be to go ahead and have this cut out. So our next step is going to be to first get a messy mat. And with this messy mat, actually, you're only going to need it for stability, because I want you to also get a piece of scrap paper from the front of the room and put your name, your art number, and your teacher's name on that paper. Then we are all ready to go. So, what we're going to do is using our bottle of glue, we are going to not just trace this animal. Let me zoom in a little bit more. We are going to trace the outline of our animal in nice thick lines of glue, thick lines of glue all around your animal. You don't want it to puddle. So you want your lines, I'm sorry for the zooming. You want your lines to maintain the details. So be careful with how you are outlining it. And then we're going to go around and put all of our details in, but you're going to trace around the outside of your animal. And then give it a nice bold outline. And then we get to do some decorations on the inside. So, for example, I can use what I know about line to make zigzag lines inside, make circles, hearts. So you use your creativity to decorate your animal with the glue, and then we're going to let it sit. We want this to get good and dry because we want that hard surface for the next step. All right, now that our animals are all dry, we're going to take that piece of foil, shiny side up. So remember, foil has two different sides, a shiny side and a dull side. We want this dull side to be down because we are going to attach this to the cat or to your animal. I have a cat, so you're going to attach it. What we're going to do is get some glue in the middle of those little ridges of glue that we attached, that we put on last time, and just rub it around in there. If you don't want to use your fingers, then go over and get a little brush. Um, doesn't take a lot of glue, not a lot. We just want to get it to where this foil will stick on in between our raised parts of the dried glue from the last time. So dull side down, and we're just going to push it on, and you should start to see the details of your animal appearing right on the foil. So if I'm looking at my little cat here, I can start to see the head, the circle that I made for the head and the ears. Um, I can use either my scissors or my just my finger because foil is very thin. And I can, let me turn this light off. There. So we're just going to wrap the foil while we're smoothing it down. And I'm just going to tear it as I go because I want it to wrap around my animal. But then I'm going to also be smoothing it in as I go along inside the ridges that I made with my glue. And this is why that glue needed to sit to dry, because if not, I'm going to cut some of this off. If not, it just would have smushed in when we're doing this part. So that's the reason we want to make sure that that glue had plenty of time to get dry, set up on our animal. So that is what you should have. You should have an animal that has the details that you drew in the glue raised. And now we get ready to color. So in our final step, what we want to do is to take our Sharpie and we want to just color different bright colors all around our animal. And as you are coloring, the Sharpie is also helping to push your foil down and smooth it out a little bit. So that will really help. So we're gonna just use different colors, go around, make it nice and colorful. And you can also use line if you want to use different elements of line. So I have my little circles in the middle, and then maybe I'll go around the outside with a different color. So be creative in how you decorate these. Our go-to is to see a bit of that foil on the raised section, so you don't have to color on the raised sections because we do want to have some of that foil shining through. So you're going to continue drawing and coloring on the foil, helping to smooth it down and to add nice details. Take your time, there's no race. And I can't wait to see what your creations look like.